Psalm 37 verse 4, Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart. We must continue to keep God first place in our lives, and he will give us everything else that we need. Thank you guys for taking this journey with me, whether it's in the Maverick or the boat. It is certainly good to have you guys along for the trip. Guess what's happened to the old Mustang project? They are really putting it together. Hot Rod Joe is doing a fantastic job, and it's certainly good to see him enjoying that car. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are in the garage, and that may not seem like much to you. Maybe been wondering, where are the videos? What, have we even seen anything from our buddy with the Maverick? Well, to be completely transparent, I haven't made any videos. We actually took the boat out, and I'm going to show you some footage of us actually breaking in the new outboard on the boat. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. We are heading out to launch the boat. It's taken me all day to get out here, but I'm glad to be able to get out on the water. I'm going to have my brother along with me for the maiden voyage, because there is a lot of things going on when you first get out on the water in a boat like this. Everything is new. Trailer, boat, navigation system, everything. So 2 eyes are good, but 4 eyes are better than that. And that is not a glasses joke, because both my brother and I really should be wearing glasses. So we're going to get out there, and as soon as we get there, I'll let you know. Right now, the gas mileage is looking pretty good, considering I'm towing this trailer. We are heading out to a local lake in my area called Lake Anna. I felt like that was the best place for us to set in, where we can basically get the boat up to speed, navigate through deep water, so that we don't have any issues with low areas, or obstructions if we were going on a river or something like that. So I'll let you know as soon as we get out to the water, and we'll see what Team Backwater is going to do. Don't look for any fishing, because I'm going to be concentrating on keeping that boat in a straight path and going where we need to get to go. So I'll holler back at you in a minute. Alright guys, we're doing it. We're out here on Lake Anna, rolling right along, cruising, breaking in the motor. Really feels good. Alright guys, we are heading back in. It's been a very uneventful kind of time out here on the water, and that's a good thing. We stopped for a few seconds and wet a line, wet some lines, whatever you want to say. But that's all we did. We didn't catch anything but a good time and a breeze. So we're going to head back. And that's pretty much the game plan. Our whole purpose for coming out here was to break into outboard, and that's exactly what we're finishing up doing. So we'll see you back when we get to the dock. For whatever reason, I didn't get my brother went with me, because I needed 4 eyes out there to so we can see everything's going on, because everything was new. The fish finder with the eco map is new, the boat is new, the trailer, all that is brand new to me. I've never actually driven a boat with a steering wheel, so that was new. Learning how to dock a boat, which I've only done, with an outboard type of mechanism, or propulsion, whether it be trolling motor or small outboard. That's the only way I've driven a boat. So when I got behind the steering wheel, it's a whole different feeling. And for all you guys who are car guys who never get out on a boat, let's just say when you take your foot off the gas, there is no brake pedal. What's going to stop the boat? When you take your foot off that gas, it's gonna stop, but it's not gonna stop like it does on the dime in the old Mustangs that we had. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff that needs to be I need to get used to. So we were able to do both the 2 hours on the boat and get the motor completely broken in. And here's the other thing that I was letting you guys know, and anybody who asked my opinion, should I buy a boat out of state? And my answer is going to be yes and no. Yes, you can get some great deals sometimes coming out of the jurisdiction or the state where you live at to get some incredible buys, especially in those areas where they sell a lot of boats like Tennessee, Florida, even places like New Jersey, place where they sell a lot of boats. Where I live in Virginia, they sell a few, but not as many as you would in those other places. So yeah, we got our boat from Tennessee, and the guy, great guys down there at Knoxville Power Sports, and I contacted them and said, hey, speedometer is not working. And of course they said what every dealer is supposed to send, to bring it on in, and when it's under warranty, we'll get right on it. And that's all fine and dandy, but in order for me to bring it on in, that is a minimum of 15-hour round trip. Am I going to drive 15 hours pulling that boat with my Maverick to Tennessee? I promise you I'm not. So I talked to the guy, and he understood, and I told him it's not a big deal. I can actually look at the speedometer on my EcoMap. My Garmin EcoMap measures the speed, and as a matter of fact, it uses GPS, so it is more accurate. And the fuel tank, yeah, I can always open up the hatch and see how much fuel I have in there. That's a pain in the butt to have to do that. But I also talked to him. I said, hey, if you guys can send me a schematic of the wiring under there, I think I can fix it, because I noticed that when I turned on one of the switches on the console, otherwise the gas gauge and the fuel gauge didn't move when we turned the key on, we're running, it didn't move. But I noticed when I turned the anchor button that says ANC, I guess it stands for anchor, when you flick that down, the gas gauge would move all the way over and peg. So I believe that something is not wired properly. Maybe one wire is where it shouldn't be, or maybe they're crossed. One goes here, one goes there. But they're working on a schematic. I said, if you can get a schematic of where those wires are supposed to be, I can look at it and just correct it myself. And that's going to be way easier. You think about it. Do you want to get under the dash and just undo the gauge bolts? It's easy to get to. It's not that hard. I'm used to working on cars, and I showed you guys that I can fit right up under that dash too. So it's not a hard thing for me to correct if that is indeed the problem. And if it's the gauge, yeah, same thing holds true. I can send the gauge back and have them send me a new gauge, but I need to know that it's wired correctly. So they're working on that for me. So hopefully we'll be able to do a video this week sometime and get some stuff out to you guys. We're taking the channel to we're going to be anyway, taking the channel to a whole new level beginning January 1st of the coming year. He said, wow, that's, yeah, we're going to have a couple of months where we're going to still do some videos between now and then, but I intend to take the channel to a new level. We have some new equipment, and that is what I'm using right now. This is my my new camera. I've been using my cell phones. I have a couple to make the footage, and I want to bring you guys a better product, a better quality video, so I'm able to use some high-end editing apps and things like that will bring a much better quality video as far as sound. A lot of times the sound on my phone, I do not have a external mic. I've tried a couple, and I have one. It really does not help at all. So this is the test. This is the guinea pig video of if this video is better than my phone. And if it is, then it was money well spent. So hope you guys enjoyed. But other than that, I have been working on my dad's estate. Yeah, we've had a lot to do. We end up moving the majority of the stuff that we have from my dad's estate here in my garage. And today is the first day that I've actually been able to have enough room cleared out in here to sit in my garage, because there was so much stuff in here that you couldn't even see the floor. My dad had a model train collection. He has a number of albums, and those two things take up a lot of space. So yeah, we were able to sell his train collection on today, and I was certainly glad. It went to a very nice gentleman who collects trains, and he actually had to get his wife and daughter a cat because he was going to buy some more trains. And I guess he is to trains as I am to cars, and the number of cars that we've had over the past 3 years. People say, I never know what kind of car you're driving because you always have a different car. And that's being a little bit extreme. We haven't had that many cars, but yeah, we've had a few cars in the last few years. Come on, guy, a few cars? You had a custom Cadillac Lincoln Mark LT, an Expedition. As a matter of fact, you had a black and a white Expedition, and a Ford Edge. Of course, there are those Mustangs, the 87 that you just got rid of, the 2021 Mach 1, the 2016 Mustang GT Performance Pack, and of course the 92 LX and a 66 Fairlane. Keep on praying for your brother. Yeah, I've got most of the stuff out of the garage. We still got a couple items, and I'm going to show you guys some of the stuff I'm dealing with. I have 400 albums that my dad had, and I've got to get rid of all of them. Tomorrow, a guy who said he just purchased 3,000 records said that my 400 records is nothing. He said, take them off the market, I'm coming to get them tomorrow. So hopefully he's a man of his word. The other guy who bought all my dad's train collection today was a great guy. He was from Turkey, and he and his daughter came down yesterday, and I decided that the money that he was offering for them was fair, so I sold my dad's entire train collection to him. Now, could I have gotten more money by individually selling those trains? Maybe, maybe not, because what happens when you do that, you'll end up with some things that get sold, and then some things you're kind of stuck with, and you end up almost giving them away. I felt it was in my best interest and his if I just sold the whole lot, the tracks, the O and the G and all the different, I don't know that much about trains, but I sold him all of the trains, the tracks, everything that my dad had collected over his whole lifetime in his train collection. I sold it to him, and I felt like it was going to a great home, a guy who collects trains too. So it did my heart good. So now we have a few things that some of you guys, sorry, excuse the junk, but on this table, this entire table is a upholstery sewing machine, and if you can see that, it says made exclusively for Rex by Nakajima, made in Japan. And my grandmother used this sewing machine to she made upholstery for furniture, and she actually did the upholstery in my brother's Toyota Corolla back in the 1970s. And if you look under here, if you look up here first, it's driven by a belt. And then underneath you have the motor under here, and then there's a foot pedal down there. So yeah, this is one of those type of things that it's worth something to somebody who knows about these machines and is, knows, or uses something like that for, whatever you use it for. But yeah, and if you know anybody that wants one of these, let me know. They can have it for a really decent price. I don't know what it's worth, but make me an offer. Let me know in the comments. And I also have in this other cabinet over here, I can't get to them because it's a sewing machine that flips up. It's an old Singer. Because my grandmother, she made clothes and she also did upholstery. So yeah, it's one of those things. The other thing is my dad collected VHS videotapes, and the guy who's coming to get the records tomorrow told me, he says, hey, you got anything else? Because I was telling him about the piano, because I got a piano over there too, an old what's the name of that piano? My grandmother bought that piano in 1965, and we looked in the bottom where the stool is, and under the stool opens up, and there's papers in there from 1967 still in there. It got a little banged up in getting it over the road, so it's really not worth that much. It is a Baldwin piano, so that's for sale. We got to sell that. But also, as I was saying, my dad also collected VHS movies. So he would buy these VHS movies, and he would buy the whole collection. So like these are Roy Rogers videos. Look at these. You see that? Now there's a 007 in there. I see. I think somebody's already moved some of these in there. They're not in their proper places. But he had Roy Rogers in here. Also, Roy Rogers in here. You can see that. Yeah, Roy Rogers. Under the California Star, Cowboy and the Senorita, Roy Rogers, Texas Legionnaires, Billy the Kid Returns, Down Dakota Way, Roy Rogers, Bells of Rosarita. Yeah. What else we got? Over here we got John Wayne, Dark Command, John Wayne, Texas Terror, Helltown. Some of these John Wayne movies that my dad had, I used to watch some of them with him, but I don't even remember some of them. And he had all these too. Lone Star Raiders, the Mesquiters. I don't even know what that is. Some of you guys, man. McClintock, The Big Trail, Lawless Frontier, John Wayne the Star Packer. And then these are Gene Autry. Now, some of you old heads are going to know what these are. I don't. I'm just letting you know right now. Gene Autry, Stagecoach War, Hopalong Cassidy, Gene Autry, the classic westerns, Old Susanna, The Old Corral, Rim of the Canyon, all those things like that. That's what my dad, he collected these, and they're still, as you can see, a lot of them are still in their wrappers. I'm not sure what this one is. Classic westerns, Yuma. Ken Maynard, classic westerns, six shooting sheriff, Guns of Diablo. Oh yeah, all these, and these are probably worth, like I say, worth something to somebody, but they're just not worth anything to me. Well, I won't say it's not worth anything to me. Let's just say I can't use them. So I'm going to attempt to sell the rest of the stuff out of here so I can actually, and the goal is to get my boat in here. I'm hoping that it will fit, but this garage is not that long. My boat is 17.7, and then you got the motor on the back. So the only way it's going to fit in here probably is if I put the motor over in the corner and bring it out this way and put it in here kind of catty corner, because it won't fit if I move it straight back, even with the swing tongue. Because I had my Grizzly tracker that I had that was 1754. It actually fit in here, but it didn't have an outboard motor on it. So yeah, that is the issue that we run into. Anyway, Thank you guys for tuning in. Remember to like and subscribe, hit that notification button, all those things that help this channel stay relevant. And I'll see you on the next one.